Alright, let's take a look at some examples of where we can apply what the marginal revenue, marginal cost, and marginal profit ideas. So if the cost of producing X DVD players is C of X is equal to 2000 plus 150X minus 0.002X squared, and the demand function is P of X is equal to 575 over square root X minus 3, determine the marginal profit function and the marginal profit for the sale of 500 DVD players. Okay, so what we want to do here is first we want to figure out what does our profit function look like. Well, in order for us to figure out what our profit function is, we need to first figure out what our revenue function is. So our revenue function is the quantity X times the demand function P of X. And P of X you can actually kind of simplify. P of X you can write as 575 X to the power negative 1/2 minus 3, right? And the revenue function R of X is equal to X times 575 X to the power negative 1/2 minus 3, and this is going to basically be 575 X to the power 1/2 minus 3X. Okay, so this is our revenue function, and the profit function P of X, we'll use capital P of X, right? That doesn't kind of help that I'm using P of X for the demand function. The profit function P of X is basically equal to our revenue function minus the cost function, which is basically 575 X to the power 1/2 minus 3X minus 2000 plus 150X minus 0.002X squared. Okay, so if I simplify this, the profit function looks like 575 X to the power 1/2 minus 3X minus 2000 minus 150X plus 0.002X squared. Okay, I'm going to just collect all the like terms, so P of X here is basically equal to 575 X to the power 1/2 minus 153X plus 0.002X squared minus 2000. Okay, now to find the marginal profit function, I'm just going to do the first derivative of everything, right? So the derivative of 575 X to the power 1/2 is 575 over 2 X to the power negative 1/2 minus 153 plus 0.004X, and then the derivative of 2000 is basically going to be 0, right? And then what we could do here is we want to figure out the marginal profit for the sale of 500 DVD players. So P prime of 500 is going to give us 575 over 2 times 500 to the power of negative 1/2 minus 153 plus 0.004 times 500. Okay, so if I crunch this out, what I'm going to get here, and I'm just going to simplify this out so you guys can just try this yourselves. This is 5 square root of 500, right? Because negative 1/2 is a reciprocal, and then the 1/2 is a square root, minus 153 plus 0.004 times 500. Plus 2, and if I crunch this out, I'm going to get negative 138.14. Okay, so you can notice here that your marginal profit function is negative. This tells us that the marginal cost, right, the cost function is going to be greater, the marginal cost is going to be greater than the marginal revenue, right? So this is a good idea for us to stop producing because of the fact that we're basically at a loss.